is my song any good? Every songwriter confronts this at some point. As you're writing a song, you're so close to it that it's tough to tell exactly how effective your song is. The solution is to test your song. Hi, I'm Trevor Dimoff, and I transform musicians into songwriters at epicsongwriting.com. Watch the video all the way through and then click the link below for a summary of everything I talked about. It'll help you put this all into practice instead of flipping on to the next video. Now, testing a song. First, we need to know what's the purpose. What's the point of the song? What are you trying to achieve? If you know where you're trying to go, it's easier to get there. So for a song, you need to engage your audience and you need to transform them. You need to catch their ear and engage them so they listen all the way through, so that you can transform them, create an emotional reaction so that they walk away from your song after listening to you feeling differently. That transformation is what keeps them coming back. Now let's talk about testing. There's different levels, different ways you can test. The first is the self-test. You do it with yourself. So the best way to do this is if you have something finished, either a couple lines, a whole section, perform it. Play it into your phone and then listen back to it so you can focus on what you're listening to. Ask yourself these questions. Is it interesting enough to engage a listener? Is there some sort of emotional reaction? Is this making sense? When do I get bored? What do I need to work on? Level 2 is with someone you trust. So one person, one-on-one, either perform it for them or show them the performance. I prefer to perform for them. And you're looking for honest and useful feedback. So honest, they're not trying to spare your feelings and build you up when it's not there. They're not telling you that the soft, sugary version of the reality. You want to know the truth. Second, useful. So if they say, oh, that's great. Oh, that's bad. Well, it feels bad, but it doesn't help you make it better. That's just disappointing. What you want is constructive and useful feedback so that you can go back to the song and improve it. So if they tell you that the rhymes are too predictable, that gives you something to work with. You can go back and make them more exciting, more interesting, less predictable. If they tell you the second verse it doesn't advance the story, great. Go back, build up the story, and then insert those ideas into the second verse so that the song goes further so that you keep them engaged all the way through. So you're looking for honest and useful feedback. The more detail they can give you, the better. Next, in front of an audience. Now, the best audience to have is a songwriter circle. Google songwriting group plus your city, state, province, country, region, and go meet with some people. As you perform a song for them, they can give you ideas. You get a discussion going. Why did I pick that idea? How can you come up with something better? A second level would be an audience. That's not as direct. It's not as interactional, but that's not really a word until I used it just now. But you get to see their reaction as you're performing it. If they're in a receptive mood and you perform it well, you can test your song accurately. The whole point is my song going to work with an audience? Get an audience. Try it out. So watch their body language, same as with an individual one-on-one. See where they start fidgeting, where they start talking to each other. Sometimes it's, wow, that's really cool in the song, but it's often because they're distracted. So when do you lose their attention? That's the point you need to focus on. You don't get the useful feedback in the same way. They can't tell you that the second verse isn't as interesting unless you notice them not paying attention. So first level, self-test. Someone you trust, where you get a direct interaction, or an audience. Last is a professional opinion. This could be a professional songwriter, especially if you have a relationship with one where you can bounce ideas off them or test the song, where they can give you useful feedback. That's great. You can also get industry professionals. They're harder to get a hold of because they're busy. There are occasionally songwriting events. I went to one where I got my song professionally critiqued in front of a panel of 5 industry professionals. There was someone that specialized in sync license. Someone was a radio DJ that listens to songs all the day. There was a songwriter. There was industry professionals. Their job is to evaluate songs quickly, and they gave useful feedback. I got some great ideas listening to feedback on other people's songs. What are industry professionals listening for? What should I listen for? So, professional songwriter, industry professionals. You can also get paid critiques. That's a crapshoot. Depends on who you're dealing with. You can pay anywhere from $10 to $100 to get someone to evaluate your song for you. What's important is what can they give you back that you can use to make your song better, make your songwriting better. It doesn't always apply to just that song. You need to do your research before you engage in any of that. You might be throwing your money away. You might get some really brilliant, useful feedback. Remember, you want to engage your listener. So on the first listen, you transform them. You give them some sort of emotional reaction. The test is, does your song do that? So how do you get there? Self-test, work on your own. Someone you trust, an audience, and an industry professional, someone with a professional opinion. That's how you test a song. That's how you can be confident that your song is good, that you know you've written the best song that you can. And that's how you test your songs to know if your songs are any good. I'm Trevor Dimoff, and I transform musicians into songwriters at epicsongwriting.com. Hit the link below. It'll take you to a summary of everything I just talked about to help you practice testing in your songwriting. As soon as you finish that, go write something.